Welcome to our Southeast Asia business documentary, Fortune Moment. I am Ro, your host for today. Fortune Moment travels all around the world to interview various people to record the great birth moment of fortune. Just imagine 24 years ago, on a barren land similar to the one that I'm standing on today, a foreign expat traveled across the oceans to come here to Cambodia. Started to build a business kingdom with tens of thousands of employees from zero. Today, the second generation of entrepreneurs is inheriting the glory of the father's generation and actively promoting the business kingdom's transformation from traditional manufacturing to modern day construction and financial industry. This week, Fortune Moment presents to you a great entrepreneurial epic, Dream in Cambodia, to tell the history of Goldfame Group from Hong Kong to Cambodia. They are chasing dreams of their own, building dreams for others, and making the common dream come true.
Common Group Golfame បានវិវត្តក្នុងស្រុកខ្មែរតាំងពីឆ្នាំ1996ហើយពេល inauguration នេះជាអាយដល់បបាក់សុយខេងអ្នកទៅកាត់ដំបូលអូខេហើយលើកទៅនេះហើយតទៅមុខទៅទៀតgive all band the explication of the group's growing since 1996. I was born in Cambodia in 1941, and nowadays the Cambodia is the best seems like which I know, and I hope it will be continued with our Prime Minister. Really, they will do everything for good for Cambodia.
Hong Kong, known for the Pearl of the Orient, an important international financial and trade center in the Far East. The people of Hong Kong, who are known for their diligence and perseverance, have created great social economic miracles with the spirit of Lion Rock. The Eastern and Western culture and wisdom collided and merged in Hong Kong and influenced the Asian Pacific region, including Southeast Asia and East Asia. All these are key elements in creating a successful business legend. The story of Goldfame Group began in Hong Kong back in 1992.
Goldfame was founded in 1992 in Hong Kong. And we started first in Hong Kong, so made in Hong Kong, and we moved to China, made in China. And in 1996, our group's chairman, Mr. C.K. Chan, has foreseen that China will not be an appropriate place for further growth. So we've moved to Cambodia, and we are now the top 5 global manufacturers in the world, and the largest garment factory in Cambodia. In our Cambodia factory, we have invested over 2,600 machines, Japanese machines, automated machines in Cambodia. So how we can become the top 5 global manufacturers? It was that before we purchased these auto knitting machines, we had over 100,000 workers in Cambodia. And now we have over 30,000 workers in Cambodia. And the land that we own our factories is over 1 million square meters of land, which has 9 factories in Cambodia. So what makes us special in the garment industry? It is that it's our quality and our on-time delivery of our products. We produce for a lot of clients all over the world. In the UK, we produce for Marks and Spencer, Superdry. In Japan, we produce for Uniqlo. In fact, we are the only approved supplier for sweaters for Uniqlo in Cambodia. We have CNA, as well as most importantly in Spain as well. We have our R&D office in Spain. We produce for brands like Zara.
We start our business in Hong Kong. Our headquarters in Hong Kong as well. So during the startup period of my family, Hong Kong basically was a best place for manufacturing. But during that period, everyone, like every families in Hong Kong, even Li Ka-shing was the manufacturer before 1997. During that time, like every families in Hong Kong, they are workers. During that period, every Hong Kong citizens work very hard as workers. They grow up their families by earning money from factories. Like since Hong Kong economies grow up very fast, especially after the return from British government to Chinese government in 1997. After that period of time, Hong Kong economies boom a lot. And then so my families moved all the way from Hong Kong to mainland China. So during that time, not many people would love to visit China or like start up their business in China because they think that work in China got lots of risks. For example, like hygiene problems, the political problems. Not many people trust to work in China. But my families take a very high risk and then move all the way from Hong Kong to China and then start business in southern China district. Hong Kong was a very good environment to do startup factory business. But because of the economic growth, all the factories suddenly moved from Hong Kong to China. So you can see around this is an industrial area, but you can see no more factories in Hong Kong anymore. So most of the factory now moved to China. They got lots of advantages to start up a factory in China because the wages are very low. And then before 2002, they still got a quota system in US. China is one of countries which got the highest quota limit. When you manufacturing clothing in China, you can take the quota limit. You can buy the quota limit from the US government to ship all the product all the way from China, Hong Kong to US. So that's why 1997, the manufacturer, they suddenly realized like open up factories in China have the most competitive advantages. After 1997, there's a 10 years of golden period in China to start up business. And then also Chinese governments are very keen to attract foreign investors. Hong Kong investors, they regard as foreign investors. So they provide tax benefits to them. For example, 2 years free profit tax, and then after 2 years of free tax, there's another 3 years of half profit tax advantage to foreign investors. Definitely during that period, that 10 years period, Hong Kong manufacturers did earn a lot in China. But after 2010, because of the labor law, and then because of the wages, after China entered into WTO, World Trade Organizations, it seems the economies of China grow up quickly. Suddenly, all the factories owner, they face problems of factory costing, like as a public accountant as well. So as a manufacturer, we look every cost as unit cost. So 1 cent in our eyes is a lot of money. So during that period, when after 2010, Chinese manufacturing environment suddenly become not very good. Actually, it is the worst time. Even now, it's not a good time for manufacturers in China. As you can read in recent news that trade war between US and China, definitely now if US increase the tariff to 25%, basically I don't think there's any factory can survive if they're getting US clients, because as a manufacturer, our gross profit is less than 25%.
When changes happen, in order to stay competitive, entrepreneurs must do the following. First, they must respond to change and adjust quickly. Second, identify the real opportunities from the fake opportunities and make the right decision. Third, ensure that strategies are deployed in a powerful execution. Cambodia has attracted the Goldfame Group with its huge advantage cost, excellent geographical location, and open business environment. The Goldfame Group has been pursuing its dream in the manufacturing industry, and then has decided to move the manufacturing focus from Hong Kong to Cambodia in 1996.
As a manufacturer, we're always looking for emerging markets. Emerging market including ASEAN countries, for example, Cambodia, Vietnam, Bangladesh. But as we are the global top 5 manufacturers, we have to choose to find a right location, especially like when we do business with Europe, US, Japan. The strategic location is a key. Like when we talk about strategic location, because fashion business, we always talk about fast retailing. So fast retailing, that means from order till delivery of final goods, you only have 2 to 3 weeks to do so. Cambodia definitely is located in a strategic location. Like compare with Bangladesh, for example. Like Bangladesh is at the edge of ASEAN, the most west area, which like for transportation, for example, our raw material is all mainly from Southeast Asia, from Shanghai, Hangzhou area. So when we ship our product, the raw material, all the way from Shanghai to Cambodia, it takes around 15 days by ship. But if I ship the raw material all the way from Shanghai to Bangladesh, it takes more than 40 days somehow. And then secondly, after we manufacture the final goods, it takes time to travel from the factory place to Europe. As you know, like only way to transport all these goods must be go through the South China Sea. So the Indian Ocean, no logistic company will ship anything through the Indian Ocean. Transporting goods from Cambodia to Europe, it takes around 30 days. But for Bangladesh, it takes 60 days. Why we choose Cambodia as our manufacturing headquarters is because tax implication. Like everyone knows, goods from Cambodia to Europe is zero stamp duty. Some of the product from Cambodia to US, for example, handbags, women's handbag, they are zero custom duty as well. Yes, Cambodia definitely is the right place to do export business. And then third things we must consider is whether the government an open door policy. Like previously, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like China did a very good example of open door policy. Same as Cambodia. Cambodia got a very good open door policy, including like all the foreigners can 100% own a company. But in Vietnam, if you want to open a factory, 51% have to be owned by local Vietnamese, and then 49% can be owned by a foreigner. So it seems like a lot very open, like if compare Cambodia to Vietnam. Also, Cambodia's wages are actually quite low. Now the minimum wages is around $183 per month. So compare with other ASEAN countries like Thailand, like they are nearly 30% lower than Thailand. So yes, as a global leading manufacturer, we definitely need to consider wages,
government open door policy, location. These are the main criteria that's always in our mind.
Looking back on history, the world has experienced 4 waves of large-scale international industrial transfers, and in each wave, some countries have seized the opportunity to achieve economic takeoff and change the destiny of the country and people. In the first industrial transfer, the United States rose. In the 1850s, Britain began to transfer the technological achievements and industries of the first industrial revolution to relatively undeveloped Europe and North America. The United States was the largest recipient and beneficiary country and subsequently led the second industrial revolution in the 1860s, marked by the widespread use of electrical appliances, surpassed Britain to become the new economic hegemon of the world. During the second industrial transfer, Japan and Germany rose. In the 1950s, the United States began to transfer resources and labor-intensive industries such as steel and textiles to Japan and Germany. Japan and Germany sped up the process of industrialization and became new world factories and economic powers. In the third industrial transfer, the 4 Asian dragons rose. From the 1960s to the 1980s, Japan and Germany began to transfer labor-intensive and export processing industries such as light industries and textile industries to Asia and Latin America. After rapid economic development, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and South Korea rose during this period and became the 4 Asian Tigers economies. In the fourth industrial transfer, China rose. From the 1980s to the 2000s, developed countries such as Europe, America, and Japan, and newly industrialized countries and regions such as the 4 Asian Tigers transferred labor-intensive industries to developing countries. China, which is undergoing reform and opening up, has become the largest undertaking and beneficiary country and has grown into a new world factory. The basic logic of global industrial transfer is consistently seeking the optimal combination of costs of production factors such as labor, land, capital, and technology. How can Cambodia seize the opportunity of a new round of industrial transfers and achieve a new rise?
Building and managing a factory of tens of thousands of employees seems like a very complicated arithmetic problem, but Goldfame Group does it very well. With excellent capabilities in research, development, machinery, and training, Goldfame Group provides production and well-known brands such as Zara of Spain, Uniqlo of Japan, just as they always do, producing world-class brands in Cambodia. In addition, what is profound is employers and employees maintain a harmonious and mutual relationship. This allows us to see their pursuit of enterprise not just, but beyond profit.
Golfame started in Cambodia when it was 1996, end of 1996. So it was back then 23 years ago. Back then here was nothing. There was a vacant land, it's more like a forest, and people around this area, they were jobless. And even the road that outside this factory, this is actually one of our oldest factory that we started, but it's only one of our factories in Cambodia. We have 9 factories in Cambodia. Cambodian is like my second home, as I always say. They are very good. I mean, they are very nice, gentle, and I think the younger generation is getting more hardworking now on their jobs, and they really work hard to drive their wages. And in 2003, we have bought over 2,600 sets of Shimasaki, top Japanese knitting machine. One machine costs $50,000 US. So it's like a BMW, but we have 600 sets of these BMWs in our factory. They are actually by exchanging the skill set from China, because China was very expert in doing the manufacturing sector. So we have actually a lot of expats coming from China teaching the local Cambodian how to do something faster, etc. So actually the top managers of top local managers, they are also performing very well. They're learning fast, and by training and by day work, practical training as well. Our group, Goldfame Group, apart from investing in manufacturing factory, we are also the biggest Hong Kong developer in Cambodia. Urban Village is one of our projects in Cambodia. Over these years, we have been investing, building new factories, and now, up till now, we have 9 factories in Cambodia. In our group, well, actually it's quite aligned with the market. It's around 70% they are for women's wear, 20%, around 20 to 25 they are menswear, and around 5% they are kids wear in our group.
Wow, that is a long history and very long time. So far already been like more than 16 years. Unbelievable. Because Golfame Group from the beginning we have like a very good vision, and the Golfame, the company keep expanding its business, from very hundreds of workers to very large number of workers. So it keep expanding itself, its business. Cambodia is good location to export to the world market. We have 2 main ports, Sihanouk Seaport and also Phnom Penh Port. So it's very convenient to transport the goods to the world. I'm very proud of being part in Golfame because we have good boss and we have a very good team, top management. We stick together and we learn a lot. Golfame provide more work. They bring up the living life to the local people, especially nearby the factory. The living is getting better and better. From nothing to they have house, they have motor, or even they have cars right now.
Business is not simple, neither is life. Because Catherine's father invested and built factories here in Cambodia, Catherine also moved to Phnom Penh as a little girl. Today, she has grown to become an excellent leader of the Goldfame Group. She has always said that Cambodia is her second home.
My impression to Cambodia, actually I've been to Cambodia since I was very, very young, and it's one of my favorite countries. It's now like my second home now. I like the people there. They are very pure, very true, and I like their personalities because they are very kind people. And for all my factory workers, whenever I go around the factories, they all smile to me. So Cambodia is one of my favorite places in Southeast Asia, and is definitely my second home now.
Like you can see now, Cambodia, it become like I can say the second Bangkok. In fact, I can say like it's better than Bangkok because they got casino in Phnom Penh. You can have like French restaurants, food, spa, and then a casino, and then all the elements are all in Phnom Penh.
They have a very young population. I think over 70% they are under 30 years old, and it has over the last 8 years they have over 7% GDP. It also proves that why Cambodia is very good for investment. And
then one more thing, like as a manufacturer, definitely we all looking for a stable currency. Like in Cambodia, like we settle all the salaries bill in US dollar. Like, as you know, like when we trade with no matter Europe or US, we also use our revenue, functional currency, in US dollar. When we manufacturing in calculating our cost, if it is in US dollar, definitely the currency risk doing your projection. Like for example, if like, in these few days you can see the fluctuation of renminbi because of the trade war, you can see like renminbi dropped at almost 4%. But like your currency, if the currency is in US dollar, your costing can estimate and foresee easily. Yes.
Investment takes time and patience. The pursuit of small-term benefits often fail in the long term, but continuous betting and investing in the same area is conducive to obtaining rich returns.
Golfame Group in definitely Cambodia is one of the important countries for our group's growth. We can foresee that Golfame is diversifying in a lot of businesses, and we will continue to support, apart from trading, apart from making businesses, we want to continue supporting the community and do some social support to the country as well.
Yes. Basically, Cambodia gives us a very good platform to further develop. Like as a second generation, we need a platform to move on. It is so good that we are so blessed by our family. They built up their platform in Cambodia. And then now, Cambodia is the global investment hotspot. With this new platform, Cambodia, we definitely can build a Goldfame Group bigger. And then definitely we hope we can be the biggest developer ever in Cambodia.
Dream in Cambodia. They are dream catchers. They are catching greater dreams here in Southeast Asia. Now it is your turn. Imagine you are standing in a strange and barren land. You are facing a ship that is about to sail the big blue sea. At the key fortune moment that will determine your fate and your future, the question is, do you have the courage and wisdom to face the uncertainties and challenges? And after overcoming your dreams and realizing them, do you have the mindset to help other people, more people, realize their dreams? Welcome to our second episode of Dream in Cambodia, Dream Maker.